Hey there, everybody. Today we are going to be looking at some various tips, tricks, and things that you may have missed when you are playing Corekeeper. Let's get started. Before we get started, though, I would really appreciate it if you would hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't so you don't miss out on any future content. Tables and pedestals can hold anything. Like if you open this up, I can literally put a tree onto my pedestal. I could put one of these banners onto this table, and you can have whatever you want. You can even stack pedestals on pedestals to create little makeshift pillars if you want to. In fact, you can actually see in some of the maps how they have placed pedestal on top of pedestal to give that kind of faux pillar sort of look. Dressers are not just cosmetic. They are what the game uses for the transmog system, for lack of a better term. You can basically have whatever you want to look like placed in any of these slots. I use my witch doctor hat, my hunter cloak, and some researcher pants to give my character the look. But otherwise, this is what I'm wearing right now and what I would otherwise look like. You can also use the transmog system by just clicking on one of these little icons to turn off whatever is being displayed there and just display whatever your default look is. The same is true of the mirror. The mirror is not just cosmetic. The mirror will let you actually change your character's physical appearance. So if you ever want to change your appearance or change whatever your transmog looks like, then you need a dresser and you need a magic mirror to do so. A lot of paintable items have completely different sprites when you paint them different colors. As you can see, when we paint this dresser green, it changes its entire look. If I paint it red, it looks entirely different. You can keep going for the different colors on these different items to get totally different looks with whatever it is that you are decorating. So don't be afraid to experiment with different paint colors if a pillar or a table or a dresser or something that is paintable doesn't look exactly the way you want. There are different sprites for the different colors. Titan summoning items can be really expensive, and having to get more resources every time you die can be kind of a pain in the butt. So here's a little tip just in case you get killed. Place a bed nearby, somewhere within like 20 to 30 tiles of the boss, and make sure you sleep in the bed so that you are getting access to it. Then just fight the boss like you normally would. And if you get killed, then you'll be able to respawn really, really close, and the boss won't go away. He'll still be here, and fortunately, he probably won't be all that healed either. This will give you the ability to get right back into the fight without losing much of the progress that you made when you first started things. Be careful about where you put the bed down, though, because if the bed gets broken during the fight, then you will just end up respawning at the core because the bed will no longer be there. Did you know that you don't have to wait until a specific season starts to actually use the seasonal events? So just click on the start button, go to the settings section, go to gameplay settings, and there will be a section in here called overwrite season. You can turn off your seasons completely so that they will never activate, or you can change the game to be at a specific seasonal event of your choice, regardless of the time of year. You'll usually be able to tell that the seasonal event is active because the Corekeeper logo changes for most of the seasonal events, though admittedly, I think there's one or two where the logo does not change. Then once you log into your world, the seasonal event will be active. I can tell it's active because there's little ice crystals for the Christmas event along all the water lines. Shovels and hoes have different radiuses. As you can see, the Scarlet Hoe goes to a 5x5. And the Galaxite shovel is a 3x3. But what if you want something smaller? Sure, you could get a lower tier hoe or a lower tier shovel, but you also can change the radius of your Galaxite shovel, or you can change the radius of your Scarlet Hoe to be whatever you want it to be. You just have to hit on PC, it's the R key. I'm not sure what it is on console. Unfortunately, I don't play with a controller or on console, so I don't really know what the button is. But there is a button, so you can change these radiuses. At the salvage and repair bench, you have two options for repairing your gear. You can repair it, or you can reinforce it. And when I first started playing this game, I would repair my gear and then I would reinforce it afterwards. But eventually I figured out that you don't have to ever click the repair button. As long as you've got the material to reinforce the armor or the weapon, I've got this damaged set of armor here. Once I reinforce it, it'll automatically repair it. So if you've taken damage, if you need to repair your gear, just skip the repair button and go straight to reinforce, and you'll both repair and reinforce the gear at the same time. You can get NPCs to follow you by simply picking up the placeable item that you need for the NPC. Like for this guy, I'm using the mysterious idol. For the minor one, it's that slime idol. There's the bait for the fishing one, etc., etc. But once you have it in your hand, just get close to the NPC, and then he will kind of attach to you, and he'll start following you around. So if you want to move him into a specific area, onto a specific tile, or just he's escaped for some reason and you want to get him back to where he's supposed to be, just equip the item in your hand, and he will follow you wherever you want to go. The same principle applies to cattle. They will follow you around if you have some sort of flour or kelp or whatever it is that they eat in their hands. Then, of course, they will eat it if you give them a chance to as well. So, you don't want to let them get too close, but they will follow you around and go wherever you need them to go, provided that you have the item equipped. There are multiple little quality of life ways to control the loot that you've got. Like if you hold down shift and you right click the item, then you will split that stack in half. If you hold down control and right click, then you'll only get 10 of the item. If you also just right click one at a time on the item, then you will get one item at a time, growing as high as you need it to. And don't forget about quick sorting. All you have to do on PC is hit the Q button, and it'll automatically drop any items that you have in your inventory into the respective chest, as long as it is within range. Many people that are new to fishing will sometimes make the mistake of thinking that these little pools where you can see lots of extra fish, like you can see one here, you can see another one down over here in the acid water where my mouse currently is. And these pools, people will think, oh, I can only fish in those pools of water. That's not true. You can fish anywhere in water. It doesn't matter whether you're using one of these little fishing pools or not. You can fish in any water, anywhere, any-when. It's just that these little pools of water for the little fish schools like you've got right here, if I fish into this little fishing pool, it will increase the odds of me actually catching fish. Now, obviously, that doesn't guarantee I'm going to get a fish, but it does make the odds of it significantly better. So don't worry about going around and finding only these pools to be able to fish in. Literally any body of water is capable of being fished in. You can also fish with grenades. Just be careful you don't blow yourself up in the process. Now, did you know that you can actually regrow the roots that are on the core here? So if I break this root, I can actually regrow it. What I need to do, though, is I need to make sure that it can grow onto this area. So I'm going to grab my trusty little shovel, and I am going to remove this stone tile because roots will not grow onto stone. Replace that stone tile with a normal dirt tile, and just till one tile away. So we've got this one tile where I'm standing. This is where we want the wood to ultimately be. And right here is where the root is going to go. You just place your root seed, water it, and then you also want to make sure that when it is fully grown, that it doesn't grow out in a different direction. So we're going to go ahead and remove this ground tile here, and we're going to replace it with a stone block. Now this will force the root seed when it is fully grown to grow to the right. At this point, you just have to wait, and eventually the root will grow, and then the wood will also grow off to the right. Just for visual reference, here are all 4 of the spots that you will need to place your root seeds, and the covering that you will have to put around them so that they will actually grow properly. You want to make sure that they are forced to grow toward the core. When placing down drills and even some other electronics, especially the ones in the early game, you don't need an electrical generator. A lever will actually provide enough power for most of them. So when you're at a point where resources are a little hard to come by still, especially during that early game, just place down a lever, especially on your drills, and you won't have to worry about all those extra resources. It'll be more than enough to power your drills and to get those boulders taken care of. Some of the bosses in this game will actually spawn tiles under them while they move. Like the slime bosses will spawn dirt, grass, beach, and or lava rock, depending on which slime boss. As well as Gorm, as he moves around his track, he will spawn slime tiles as well as dirt ground blocks wherever he goes. So if there's void where he wants to move, he will create the ground tiles necessary. So if you are wanting to easily farm some tiles and you've maybe run out or you're running low on a specific tile you want, or you just don't want to go running around trying to find the specific sub-biomes or whatever that you need, there are a few tiles that you can just let the boss hop around for a few minutes into the void while chasing you, or onto something like a bridge, because they'll blow up the bridge and place the tiles underneath it. And that will also help as well, and you can get those ground tiles that you're looking for. This may not be the most practical solution, but it's still something interesting to consider, especially if maybe you're playing on a special custom world that doesn't have a lot of ground tiles in it. Now, if you're in a minecart and you're just running around trying to place things, you don't actually have to get out of your minecart to keep placing more railing. You can just keep on going to get all of your railing down, and that kind of saves a little bit of time and effort. You also don't have to get out of your minecart to mine walls. You can stay in it. You also can do it when you are digging things up with your shovel. There's really no reason to get out of the minecart if you are using it to help you with some fast travel, especially early on in the game. You can do all of your harvesting and all of your building from within the cart. And hopefully with the upcoming automation expansion, we'll see some more improvements to the rail lines, and that will expand the content, hopefully. This last one isn't really necessarily a tip or a trick, it's just kind of a bit of piece of information and trivia. A lot of people think that the roofing gadget kind of tears holes in the roof and adds natural light in, but that's not what it does. If you actually look at the roofing gadget's flavor text, it says, "This strange gauntlet can create or remove a roof light on a tile that you are facing." So it's not ripping holes into the ceiling. It's not doing anything that makes you wonder, why can't I just climb out and escape? It's literally a giant selfie stick that is just putting light bulbs up on the ceiling for you. I get that it kind of looks like you're ripping holes in the ceiling by the way that the animation works, as there's little bits of ceiling that crumble down whenever you do it, but you aren't actually tearing a hole in your cave ceiling. All you're doing is placing a light up top. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful and informative, and until next time, stay happy, stay healthy, stay crazy, everybody.